Today I'm going to show you how to do a simple, kind of economical way of doing a top decorative piece for your house, kind of like a fence. Really can't be considered a fence because it's not tall enough, but it's a decorative piece for the top of the house. So stick with us. Cue the theme song. That's right, we don't have a theme song. It's a low budget outfit here. So what I did is I made this rail out of actually PVC pipe, some 5-pound I actually got a good deal on, some bent metal, a couple 2x6s, and then of course I made some center posts, and I'll show you a little later on what it looks like on top of the house. But this is a finished product. Now I'll kind of show you how to get to this in a second. The reason why I like this is that it's fairly economical. The 5-pound I did get a good price on, but you can easily do this whole fence at all PVC pipe, as well as maybe a different size PVC pipe. But it's a nice look, nice clean white look to it. So this is a finished product. For your convenience, I pre-cut most of this stuff. What I did is I have some 2x6s. Several days ago, I rented a brake metal aluminum. It's called a aluminum brake metal machine from the local rental dealership. Took a piece of sheet goods and then I bent it into a profile something like this. So I have a couple of caps. I got the top cap. I also have a bottom cap for it to kind of engulf the whole 2x6 so it doesn't get any water on it. I also bought the PVC pipe, like I said, which is a very economical way of doing this. I bought this. This is actually a 3-inch pipe, and what I did is more or less cut it on it's on a miter saw. It cuts really nice on a miter saw. You gotta let it run up to full speed. Don't go right away because it'll chip off. But run it at full speed and cut it off. It's very nice. The only thing you have to do, which I haven't done yet, is I actually you need to take off the printing that they have on the pipe, and what I usually find is some paint thinner. You put that on there, that kind of wipes off. Not all of it, but most of it wipes off, and then you take some sandpaper, and because I like it because it's PVC pipe, it's white all the way straight through that you can keep on sanding, and you're not going to wreck it, so it's always going to stay white. That's what I like about it, is you'll never have to paint it. It's always going to stay white. It's not going to rust, etc., etc. So anyway, PVC pipe, for your convenience, I cut them all at the same size, be pre-cut for you. Inside of that, I also took a 2x4, cut it down, ripped it down to the size that would fit right inside of here. So I made sure it's just a nice and tight fit in here, not too much wiggle room, but a 2x4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 2x4, I'm going to screw it to my 2x6, and these are only just really for decorative purposes. Once you slide over the top of it, it's going to be for decorative purposes. So let's get going. Let's have some fun, huh? I'm going to set this aside now. So, as I said, I pre-did a lot of this stuff at the time. Ouch! I don't know. I use a little sick. I got a finger. I usually like wearing gloves. I hate this because I have a little longer hands. We'll get to that in a little while. But I have longer hands, and it seems my index finger always pops through, and I always get a little thing like this. And I like using gloves because I used to do it without gloves, and slivers and cuts, it just wasn't worth it. And once I started working with gloves, man, I don't do anything without gloves. Well, I do a lot of stuff without gloves, but not construction-wise. But here's a glove. Here's an old glove that I have. What I usually do is I just cut off one of the longer fingers on the glove. Longer fingers on the glove. Please remember that. What I do is I cut that off. I put it on. And I put the glove back on. And voila, get more mileage out of glove ends. Look at that. Brand new finger. So I just kind of screwed them in, didn't I? I kind of did a roundabout on the glove. So anyway, it's really nice. It fits good and practically good. So I got my pre-marked. I got my top plate and my bottom plate. My top plate already pre-marked. So this top and my bottom plate. And what I'm going to do, I want to put one on top of the other. I want to keep the metal on the bottom place. The top plate, I want the bottom piece on. Take the top piece off. Obviously, you don't want to drill through that. And what I did is I laid it on top of each other. I laid out my pipe. Again, I've got how I laid it out. This is actually a 4-foot section we're using, but you can do a 6-foot, longer or shorter. But what I like to do is I want to make sure it's all even. It looks very nice. So I have a center post and I have 2 posts on the side. So again, I just laid it out, pre-drilled them, and they're all drilled already. Again, I got it drilled all the way straight through here. That drilled all the way to the bottom plate. All done. So my 2x4s, what I did is I You find the very center of the 2x4, you draw an X on it from corner to corner, you find the middle, and do just a little pilot hole, not a really deep one, just a little bit, because I'll show you in a second why I'm doing that. So we're all set to ready to assemble. So set the top part aside for now. I like doing the bottom piece first. Get the bottom piece up. I've got myself some 3-inch screws, and what I'll do is pull from the bottom. And I'll just poke it through, just so it pokes through a little bit. I don't have to do every one of them because obviously the 5-ponds I don't have to do because little toenail loads in because they're made out of foam and the screw won't really work very well. So I'm poking all the way through. Now I got my little pilot hole that I showed you before. Pilot hole. And what I'll do is I'll just get this thing started a little bit. Where that hole is. A little lack of talent there. And get started and drive it through. One done. Now these happen to be all scrap pieces I'm building in my house, and I have a whole bunch of scrap pieces of wood, so this worked out really well using these things. I'm trying to be green. I don't want to get John Denverish about it, but it's nice to reuse some of the stuff. Whatever I don't use, I'll bring up north and cut and burn in it. Nice campfire. So, nearing the end, talk amongst yourselves. Done. Okay, so that's the bottom section. See, it's nice and tight, except for that one. We have to get jiggy with it here. Drive that puppy home. Alright, so they should be centered. Then we slide over the old PVC pipe. And I'll take off the printing later, I promise you, but right now I'm just going to slide it over the top. Some assembly required. And bada bing, bada boom. It's done, done, done. Okay, so now you got the top piece. So this one's a tricky part. This is for not the light-hearted. So kind of like I did the bottom, I'm going to start through, let it poke through about 1/4 of an inch. Kind of like that. Now I use the Phillips type of screw. Why can't we all get together and have one type of screw? I went to buy a whole box of screws. Thought I had the right size, didn't look in the box, and have to do the square heads. You got the square heads, and you got the star heads, and then you got the Phillips. Why can't we all get along and just have one type of screw? So I had to go back and get this box because I don't like doing it. I'm old school. So anyway, what you do is now you got your pilot hole, and these screws are kind of poking through. You get them preset in the pilot hole that you did, like that. So these two, the outside ones, are kind of holding it in place. So you have to back this out a little bit so it sucks in. Start over. Retake. Put it in the center. Told you this wasn't light-hearted. It's a pain in the ass. Sorry, I didn't want to swear. Sorry, Mom. It's a pain in the butt. I get kind of started a little bit. That guy's there. Should be good to go. Now this one I'll drive off a little bit. Suck it down to the 2x4 and then. So I call it ramrodded. Okay, so now that one's not all done yet. What I want to do before I forget is slide these foot pond on, because these are all about the same size. And once I tighten that thing up, she's just snug up quite well. And if not, two. This is a little bit lighter because I'm all tightened. So I'm centering it. These will always kind of move around a little bit. These are mainly for looks. And then you drive the other ones home. Okay, that one's really tight. That one's not so tight. Not so tight. Okay, some are going to be just a little bit loose, but she's sturdy, man. Trust me. Have I ever lied to you? You only first met me, didn't you? Okay. So, we're all set there and there and there. Just got to go over a little bit. One should always take a block of wood and tap on it. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. And tap, tap, tap. And with my center hole, what I usually do is I toenail it, so I usually go kind of the starter through, a little bit at an angle. Toenail it, better. Scent of a woman, I think that comes from. Al Pacino, Booyah, Winnie, brown guy, something like that. All right, I'm gonna put the top cap on. Boom. Wrong side. There. Right, steaming eyes. A sister to this guy. Boom. And I'll show you what it'll look like when it gets up. Wave to my neighbor. And then, whoops. It's up like that. Still got to do the top pieces yet, but those are some of my segments. Well, thanks for viewing my first segment. I'll have other segments after this.